The wealthier you get, the more your perspective of the world changes. You see it with different eyes for what the world really is and how it really works. These are 15 ways your worldview changes. Welcome to Alux. First up, the real value of money. Up to a certain point, money 100% brings happiness and safety. But after that point, money for you gains a different meaning. You see, after your bank account serves its purpose of making you secure and financially independent, it goes into the next stage. The stage where you use it as a tool for opportunities and freedom. It allows you to start things not to make a profit from it, but because you enjoy doing it. That's why some really rich people start things like simple, small restaurants. They know they're not going to make a huge profit from it, but they just wanted to have a restaurant or a themed coffee shop. Because you see, things not built just to make a profit usually have more soul in them. But you need to already have a lot of money in order to have the freedom to do that. In the end, you understand that money has two values. The first one is transactional, where you sell things for a profit and you use that profit to sustain your life. It's a market-driven value. The second one is soul-driven value. You know you're wealthy when the money leaving your pocket is buying you freedom. Then you start to understand how risk really works. In every culture, there's some kind of saying that goes along the lines of, it's not worth sacrificing what you already have for something you might not get. In English, there's the, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. In German, there's, better the sparrow in the hand than the dove on the roof. In Chinese, you've got better to be the head of a chicken than the tail of a phoenix. All of these sayings teach you not to sacrifice what you have, even if what you have is significantly worse than what you might possibly get. And early on, it's a good way to keep yourself grounded. But as you get richer, you understand that's not actually how risk works. You know the potential for a higher reward always comes from some kind of risk, because nothing is 100% certain. It requires you to step outside of your comfort zone, adapt to new situations, and become more resilient. Avoiding risks altogether is, in itself, a risk of stagnation. If you try, you might make it. But if you don't, you will absolutely 100% not make it. The perception of time as an investment. Most people look at time from the past tense. How long has it passed since something happened, or how long they've been doing something? And this perception of time has very little value. You can't do much with it. But on the other hand, as you get wealthier, you start to look at time from a future perspective, or how long it'll take to make something happen. You start to look at time as a resource that constantly is depleting and nothing will ever stop that. It's constantly draining until it reaches zero and nobody can do anything about it. And this new perspective makes you look at time as something that must be used constantly because it cannot be saved up for the future. Imagine having a bank account with millions of dollars in it, but every second, $1 gets withdrawn by a mysterious entity. And the only way to stop this from happening is for you to spend those dollars yourself. You see, it's the very same way with the days you have left in your life. Social circles. Your social circles evolve in a pretty interesting way through your life. You start off with family because, well, they're the first people you meet. Then you move on to classmates from middle school and high school. You meet them because you're in the same circumstances that brought you all together. Then you move on to neighborhood friends, which are your classmates that live close by and are not total dicks. And after another couple of years, they become your first social circle of people you know and trust. After that, you eventually get to colleagues, which are basically classmates, but you're all getting paid to be there. And for most people, that's when social evolution stops and just repeats itself. Colleagues become work friends, which become your social circle, and that's it. And up until this point, all the people you've been were because of the circumstances that brought you physically together. But for other people, they move beyond that, towards a new evolution of the social circle, which is the international network. This is when you specifically search out people with similar goals and interests, regardless of who they are or where they live. You actively meet other people to build bigger and better things together, and you understand the power of a network cannot be underestimated. Charity and philanthropy. There's a great satisfaction when you help someone else without wanting anything in return. It's one of the greatest joys of life. But it's a joy you can't really partake in when you barely have enough to take care of yourself. When a billion-dollar corporation asks you to donate money for the kids, when you buy a $1 hamburger, something feels a bit off for some reason. But when you get wealthy yourself, not only can you help individual people that show great promise by giving them opportunities and opening up doors, but you could also help entire causes or communities. There's something really special about being in a position to help an entire village get free water forever, or setting up new technology in a poor school. The satisfaction is immeasurable, and the impact you can have on other people can be life-changing. Investment mindset. There are two very distinct attitudes between wealthy people and everyone else when it comes to a paycheck. Most people think of how much they earn, how much they spend, and in some cases, how much they save. And that's it. As long as those things are somehow balanced, they're good. But when you get wealthy, the only things you care about in terms of a paycheck is how much you invest and how profitable are your assets. Because the assets got you wealthy in the first place. You see, contrary to popular belief, there's absolutely no way you can work your way up toward being wealthy. And needless to say, you can't save up your way to wealthy either. If you think jobs will make you wealthy, you are gravely mistaken, my friend. But Alux, football players have hundreds of millions of dollars, and that's a job. No, the real money comes from their assets, which is their name, face, and physical ability. The asset sells match tickets, merchandise, and sponsorships. Nobody wins the World Cup for the prize money. You seek authenticity and craftsmanship. As your wealth grows, so does the appreciation for authenticity and craftsmanship in all aspects of life. This means you get a deeper understanding and respect for the time, skill, and artistry behind products and services. Your life and everything that's in it becomes intentional and more reflective to your deeper values. You get things that are good for you not because they're popular or seen as luxurious. Global perspective. At a certain level, business, interest, and politics will always collide in one way or another. It's bound to happen when you're operating on a global scale. And navigating those waters is an actual skill. You learn how to deal with people, what compromises are worth making, and what's not worth the trouble. With wealth, you gain access to diverse cultures and ideologies, leading to a more nuanced understanding of global issues. You start to see the interconnectedness of economies, politics, and societies. It's a mindset shift from individual to global. Health and wellness. Money provides the means to take care of your health on a professional level. Personal trainers, nutritionists, and wellness coaches all become a part of your routine. But a deeper shift starts to happen at the same time. You begin to see your health from a deeper perspective. Your health means the quality of the time you have left and how much of that time there is. In essence, you start to see health as not just living disease-free, but as a vital component of a high-quality life. Education and knowledge. When you get richer, you start seeing learning as a never-ending journey. It's not just about degrees or formal education. No, you dive into different topics because you know learning new things makes you both smarter and better in life and business. Wealthy people always are curious and hungry for new information. They read, attend seminars, and keep up with the latest in their field and beyond. They understand that to keep growing their wealth, they need to keep growing their knowledge. Education becomes a lifelong habit, not just a step to get a job. Legacy and impact. When you get richer, your thoughts often shift to what you'll leave behind. It's not just about money, but about making a lasting difference. Wealthy people think about how they can impact future generations and the world. This might mean setting up charities, starting businesses that help the community, or supporting important causes. It's all about leaving a positive mark that lasts longer than a lifetime. And it's also about giving the best possible opportunities to those who come after you. Power and influence. As your wealth grows, so does your understanding of the power and influence you hold. Rich individuals often realize they have the ability to make significant changes, not just in their lives, but in the broader world. This can mean having a say in big decisions, shaping industries, or influencing policies. It's about recognizing that with great wealth comes the ability to make a real difference. This newfound power is seen not just as a privilege, but as a responsibility to make positive changes. Wealth allows you to do things very few people get the chance to do. Sustainability and responsibility. Gaining wealth often brings a new awareness of sustainability and ethical responsibilities. The more affluent you become, the more you understand the impact of your actions on the environment and society. Wealthy people begin to think about how they can use their resources in ways that are beneficial and sustainable in the long term. Cultural appreciation. As wealth increases, so does exposure to and appreciation for diverse cultures. Affluence often brings opportunities to travel and interact with people from various backgrounds, leading to a deeper understanding and respect for different ways of life. Wealthy individuals tend to develop a broader perspective, valuing the richness that cultural diversity brings to their experiences. This isn't just about enjoying global cuisines or art, it's about genuinely valuing and learning from different cultural perspectives and histories. It's recognizing that the world is a tapestry of cultures, and wealth allows one to experience and appreciate this tapestry in full depth. And finally, personal fulfillment. You would expect that from increasing wealth, there's also a notable shift toward personal fulfillment. But that's not exactly the case after a certain point. After important things are taken care of, all that's left to do is have a meaningful and joyous life, which doesn't come from wealth at that point. And that's a personal thing. Some people retire completely on a lake house somewhere in New Zealand, others buy a farm, others invest heavily in the new generation. The idea is that after a certain point, you tend to go back to the things you enjoyed doing as a kid. We hope you learned something valuable here today, Aluxer. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.